I'm Greg Wolf. Welcome to another edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Last weekend's divisional rounds of the playoffs were even more proof to my previous week's installment that sports are unquestionably the best reality show going on television. And not just on the field, which was out of this world, edge of your seat stuff, but it was also unmanufactured, terrific off the field, behind the scenes drama as well. And sports also does that better than any reality show ever could. Packers, Cowboys, Steelers, Chiefs. Back-to-back games on Sunday. Both went down to the wire. Incredible finishes. And that's going to be hard to top going forward. If that's the best we get out of the playoffs, I'm good with that. Those were games for the ages. And the wins gave us some controversy too, and shed some light on who's going to last going forward. But let's start with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers. Remember when he was struggling? The Packers were 4-6. Everyone was asking what's wrong with him. How did the Packers fix it? That was before Rodgers predicted and went on to back up, rattling off, running the table. Remember, this has been the best quarterback in the league the last 5 or 6 years. But all of a sudden, all of sports talk media was telling us how to fix Aaron Rodgers, including Herm Edwards.
Anything else, I think the quarterback has to play on schedule. And he's not playing on schedule right now. In other words, things are developing for him as a quarterback. And rather than take the profit, he's looking for the big explosion play. And I think in his mind, he just feels like, this is what I got to do. This is who I am now, being the fact that, I got to throw the ball down the field, make big plays. You get Jordy Nelson back, and that's a little bit of a security blanket for you in the fact that, if I move around, Jordy will find a way to get open and I can throw one down the field. And you got to get on schedule as a quarterback.
Well, it turns out, as we saw from that last play from Rodgers in the NFC divisional round against the Cowboys, Herm's advice was exactly what Rodgers did not need to do. Not to pile on Herm, any coach would go that route. But as we witnessed, and later were even more blown away with, there was no schedule or anything fundamental at all about what Rodgers pulled off on that final drive. It was straight out of the schoolyard. It was like you and I and all kids used to do, playing a pickup game with their friends after school. Although I don't ever remember having a play for 3rd and 20 to pick up 36 in my after-school games with my Nerf football. Yes, it was 3rd and 20, needing 15 yards simply for any kind of a shot at all to Hail Mary. 30 yards for a shot at a game-winning field goal, and the Packers got 36. And how'd that play come about? Well, of course, Rodgers appears to be freewheeling. He's got a little gunslinger in him, obviously. But as Fox showed him in the huddle, he appeared to be drawing up a play like any kid would in a backyard game. And that was confirmed via Robert Klemko, the Monday Morning Quarterback, when talking to Randall Cobb, who said that final play was not an actual play, but yes, just Rodgers freewheeling, drawing up routes on the fly in the huddle like you would do in your backyard. Not exactly on schedule, not exactly fundamentally sound, but beautiful and effective. And the Packers are going to the NFC Championship. Quick note on the Cowboys. We knew it would come, and it did. Troy Aikman threw out the question, with Dallas down big early, would there be a call for Tony Romo to replace Dak? The one thing that did come out of that game for Dallas, that question finally has come to a close. The rookie went toe-to-toe with Rodgers, 24 for 38, 302 yards passing, 17 fourth-quarter points, and Dak threw for 3 scores, becoming the first rookie in the Super Bowl era ever to accomplish that in the playoffs. The quarterback debate in Dallas is finally dead. Now to the Steelers and Falcons, and why both won't win in the respective conference championships. Antonio Brown going live on Facebook in the locker room, airing out the dirty laundry and sacred locker room speech of Coach Mike Tomlin. This would be like the priests at the Vatican doing the same thing during their secret conclave and electing a new pope. Could you imagine a rogue pope going live on Facebook before the white smoke came out of the Sistine Chapel? He'd be excommunicated from the church. What if a government official did the same thing in a closed-door intelligence meeting, or say, shared information with a foreign power like Russia? Well, maybe not the best example. I mean, that would never happen, right? Didn't D'Angelo Russell teach athletes anything when he secretly recorded Swaggy P's infidelities? That somehow leaked. At least D'Angelo's leak was allegedly an accident. This was just blatant in your face. I thought at the very least, all athletes across sports would learn from that D'Angelo moment. Here's to suggesting the NFL should make the D'Angelo Swaggy P incident part of the new NFL rookie assimilation program. Make it a teachable moment. Because of taking America into the locker room, the distraction it caused leading up to the AFC Championship, not to mention the Steelers barely held off Alex Smith and the Chiefs, 13th in scoring in the AFC during the regular season. something tells me Brady and the Patriots, who led the AFC in scoring, can do a little more damage, especially at home. We're going Patriots in the AFC Championship. Lastly, to the Falcons. Matty Ice is rolling. His numbers this season have been historic, but when your organization, whether by coincidence or not, gets caught having not one, but two former exes of Russell Wilson's boo on their sideline when the Falcons played the Seahawks, that's seriously lowball. This from the same organization that brought you fake crowd noise pumped into their stadium and got docked $350,000 and a 5th-round draft pick. Yes, both Future and Lil Bow Wow, two former Sierra exes, were on hand for the Falcons' home win over Seattle. Maybe they were still concerned about the crowd noise or lack thereof and thought a little Bow Wow and Future would get the ATL crowd fired up. Whether Russ saw them or not, whether it was intentional or not, classless move by the organization, especially considering Bow Wow, 1, isn't even from Atlanta or the state of Georgia, and 2, football isn't even his thing.
My favorite play is the alley-oop. I like to pick and roll. I like to give and go. And it's basketball. Bow Wow, let's go. All around the world.
Wait, can we see that part again?
And it's basketball. Bow Wow, let's go.
If I was a rapper, I would not want to battle rap with that dude. I will say this. If Atlanta's intent was to rattle Russ, then just go all out. Don't sidestep it. Look, they won, but to get dangerous, this would have been the way to go.
I ain't never had nobody show me all the things that you done show me in the special way I feel when you hold me. We gon' always be together, baby. That's what you told me, and I believe it. 'Cause I ain't never had nobody do me like you.
Let's at least hand it to the Falcons for not going down that road. That's it for this edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. We'll see you next week.